So, a couple of top prospects going down with Korchinski and Nazar. What went behind those decisions?
I think, just getting some, game situations in, in multiple sequences. So, kind of like a Vlasic and even Kaiser last year scenario, which really worked well for them. And I think, getting Frank to be down there to be like a number one center and to be on the power play penalty kill, where if he's here, that might dwindle the ice time. So, or being even in and out of the lineup as a young guy, it's tough. So we want him playing like he did last year, big minutes, important situations, and the role that he's going to be in that we look forward to in the future here. So, it's hard to work your way up here as a young guy from, when you're a top six forward and you're used to that and that's what you're projected to be a bottom six forward and try and learn that role and, take a little bit away from your game now and do you get it back? Why not stick with the same format and try and move forward? And when the progression's there at the right time, and same as Kevin. Kevin wasn't able to go down last year to work on his game like Kaiser, so this is kind of a time for him to kind of do that. We don't want him to struggle here as a young defenseman. We want him to go and flourish down there, just like what the organization saw when they drafted him.
Seemed like last night was kind of tough for Kevin. Did that influence the decision?
No, I think that was kind of a thought process overall, but everybody's has a chance at training camp to blow the doors wide open, or just kind of show exactly where you're at in your development. And I think he's a great young skater, offensive puck moving player, but just to work on the full game of defense down there is going to be a little bit easier task in that league than it is in this league. And I think that's probably a good call to go down. And whether I think if the game went different and he had a goal and an assist and wasn't on the ice for any goals last night, probably maybe you give him another chance and keep him a little bit longer. But I think it just solidified it's a good time for him to go work on certain things in his game and get his confidence back at a high.
Where do you think he needs to focus on?
I think just awareness of body position on the ice. Like, he's such a good skater. I think sometimes he gets on the outside, and it allows players to get on the inside. And he's not. He's really already developed and gotten bigger and stronger than last year. But at the NHL, you're at the highest level, and he's probably not ready to be battling like top line players on the other team at this level right now consistently. I think he can do it, but I think consistently, you got a young guy, lots on his mind. He's trying to work on his defensive game, and he knows he's an offensive puck mover. When is that right time to go? I think all those situations will, be a little bit slower and clearer down there, and it's like one step in between from coming out of junior and playing here. And he played a lot here, and he had some really good games, but he had some games where it was tough for him last year, and we couldn't really help him out too much with the injuries that we had last year. And we really couldn't send him back to junior and couldn't send him down to Rockford. So he had the hard knocks version last year of learning on the fly, and with sometimes not a lot of support. And that's what we don't want him to get into this year again.
Do you know how he took it, after having played last year, and did you have a certain message for him?
Not much. I was just there and just told him to, keep working. Kyle gave him a great message that we believe in him, and we know he's going to be a great defenseman, and we're just going to help him get there with all the resources that we have here and provide. And we're going to be watching lots, like they're playing right now today, and Nazar already scored the first goal of the game. So that's the whole reason for them to go there and do that. So we're hoping for the same for Kevin, and you know what? You never know. We told him just make sure you go down and play well enough while you're working on your game. But when it's time to perform and make the organization open up a spot for you and make us call you back.
Is Phillips and Allen kind of on the team for good now, and at least until Kaiser comes back?
Well, we still got 2 games, and they're going to both play in one or both of the games, and we're going to evaluate that just as much as we evaluate the previous 4 games, and we want to make sure we see our best in the next 2 games, and that'll be the same as them as anybody else. So right now, numbers look better for them, but there's still a little ways to go in training camp.
Is Phillips' waiver status going to weigh in on his decision?
Yeah, I'm sure. I think there's a lack of NHL defensemen. I think and I think expansion is kind of watered things down a little bit, and I think people are really looking. So it depends on team's injury situation. I think you probably have to keep your eyes open around the league for that. But you know what? I think it's really mostly on performance. That could be if there's a teetering point, that might be something that comes into play.
Do you see yourself keeping 14 forwards?
I don't know. We haven't really talked about it yet. I think we're still just kind of letting things play out. Same as some of the guys that didn't play last game are going to play next game. We want to make sure we get a good evaluation against stronger rosters closer to the starting season and evaluate everybody properly from there. But there'll definitely always be some tough decisions. But I'm not sure. I think Rockford being so close, sometimes we have a little bit of a luxury not to carry 3 extras and just carry the 2, or sometimes even 1, depending on our schedule. But and I think right now we have a cap situation where we're probably a little bit more able to do that than some teams.
What is your feedback for Reichel then?
You know what, we like, there's certain bursts. I thought he had an excellent practice today. I think he realized he's got to do more in the game, and I think last game didn't go our way after the first period. I thought we had a really good first period again. Unfortunately, just 1 or 2 little mistakes, and it's in the back of our net. And it was a very good, obviously at the wrong time with the wrong players on the ice on the other team that make you pay. And I thought we kind of cracked and crumbled a little bit there. So I think mentally we got to be stronger. And I think a guy like Reichel is one of those guys. He's on the first goal. He's back checks hard, and unfortunately he tried to grab the puck and it goes off his hand funny, and it goes down into the crease into the net instead of him maybe saving the day. He probably feels like it cost him. Really, he wasn't even on the ice. That he was just coming on the ice when they made the turnover. So he gets the minus on that one. Doesn't look great on the paper, but not even really involved. But I think we need to get him creating and slashing and shooting pucks more and getting more on the offense, and without giving up any defensive laxes or liabilities. So it's a tough job for a young forward, but that's a tough league, so you have to do it. So it's just the same message that we keep giving him. We try to support him and show him some plays where he could maybe do something a little differently or look for something a little better. But the player has to take that information in and implement it in their game and show it in the actual games.
What have you thought of Taylor Hall's preseason game specific?
Yeah, good. I think the game in St. Louis played pretty good with Kurashev and I think Mikheyev. Lots of speed, and they were moving quite a bit. I really liked it. I think last game, again, there's some really good bursts, really good bursts and really good plays, and even being strong on loose pucks down around the front of the net on the power play. It helped us even recover a puck or 2 and score that 1 goal at the end of the second. So doing some good things. I think he's still finding some timing. I think made a heck of a play to Kurashev on a 2-on-1 when he was really tired after a long D-zone shift. So those are encouraging signs that you see from an explosive player, even in practice today, doing it again after doing it last night. So I can see some things really kind of fall into place for him. I think he's probably a guy that's used to perfection or close to it, and probably not happy enough yet, and that's great. So I want him pushing forward, and that just pushes other guys and brings them along with him.
We all silly like the mayor.